yoga problems. Oh, I got them. Oh, I got them. Today, last day of the year, had to kick it off with some hot yoga action at OBX Hot Yoga. Oh, they don't play games, my friends. My third day of the week at OBX Hot Yoga. It's the place to be if you're on the Outer Banks, you're looking for hot yoga action. As the name suggests, they don't play games. They bring the hot yoga action to the max. And it was good today, boys and girls. It was good. It's a great way to end the year and get level set for extraordinary New Year's Eve. Down in the Outer Banks of North Carolina, is there a better place in the world to celebrate the passing of time, the beginning of new opportunities? Oh, I'm so psyched. And it's a beautiful day down here. I'm gonna go on a walk. I'm gonna record a walk and talk, some end of year summary thoughts, commentary, stream of consciousness, man. I'm in a good spot. I mean, somewhat. I'm never in a really good spot, let's be honest. And come out of hot yoga, man, I just don't know how to describe some of those situations. Today, I want to hone in on what I would consider a fundamental necessity for any functioning yoga studio. That there's clearly not widespread agreement on this belief that I'm about to share with you. Because many a studio, including the one I went to today, do not adhere to this policy. But in my experience, I would say close to 10 years of experience, actually it's about 9 years. I think I started yoga at about the age of 40. It was one of those things where I realized I was getting old. I'm over the hill. My dad was having some heart issues. I thought, now would be a good time to pick up some new form of exercise. What should that be? Well, I don't like to jog and run. I did that a lot in my 20s and 30s. I ran a marathon. That was miserable. And it's too jarring on the knees. I don't know how I landed on hot yoga, but I was hooked from the first go, man. And I've been crushing it ever since. And I know it doesn't look like that because I'm a bit overweight, but that's diet, not exercise, my friends. Diet is 80% of the problem. Anywho, the aspect of a studio that I would consider to be essential, yet which many do not follow, sort of the norm I would like to accomplish or establish, is that you have markers for your mats. So you know how many mats you can fit in a room. There's a basic dignity to that knowledge. When you go into a room and you see how many mat spaces are there, and you know where you're going to put your mat, and the corner of the mat has to kind of fit up. I don't know if there's like a private label, or is there some type of informal rulemaking that exists about the size of a standard yoga mat, but I feel like they don't deviate too much. I feel like they're all roughly the same width, maybe not the same length. I've seen some really long yoga mats, like magic carpets, man. Where are you flying? Yoga mat variance is a fascinating topic. I'm going to explore that in depth in 2025. I think as a preview of where we're going in 2025, I want to get a little bit more intentional with each of the problems I discuss and make hot yoga problems less stream of consciousness as it stands today. I already have my stream of consciousness show. That's Raff Walk and Talk. I just walk around my neighborhood and I talk off the top of my head. What's going on? That's like pure Raff's brain. Pure cut. I need hot yoga problems to be a little more focused and topical. Maybe I'll do like a pose of the day and just give my thoughts on the pose. Or I'll discuss this very specific or acute problem in the course of, say, 5 to 10 minutes, which is the distance of my commute, my journey home. So that's what I'm thinking about that show in 2025. And I guess the problem I would identify today, if we were to use this as an example, is I would hone in on this idea that for me, a fully functioning and effective yoga studio that is respectful of the dignity of its patrons will have designated markers for where to put your mat. I would say if you take it to the next degree, if you want to cater to the customer extensively to the max, you want to differentiate yourself in this competitive marketplace of yoga studios, because they're everywhere. Anybody can throw up a yoga studio sign, come up with a clever name. Just take any pose, crow yoga. I mean, you can imagine. Down dog is the name of a studio. Yeah, that's brilliant. It's just the name of a position. That's cool, man. Maybe it's a good position. It's kind of like home base for all the positions. Meditate, hot flow. You can imagine. Anybody can throw up a shingle and be like, I'm a yoga studio, and I guess you can get certified. There's different ways to do that. I have 200 hours of teacher training myself. Yes, indeed. I could throw up a shingle. I could do yoga. Maybe I should do that, man. What's stopping me? I guess the space. But if I did have a yoga studio, you bet your bottom dollar I would put markers on there where the mats are, and beyond that I would put numbers on the mats. I'd let people reserve by the specific location that they want. And I would charge a premium for the corner spaces and the back spaces, because that's where people want to hang out. I've noticed. I go to class early, and usually I'm in the front corner. I like the corners, so no one can creep up on me. I like the corners, but I'm not alone in that preference. There are many what should we call these people? The corner lurkers. Corner lurkers, is that a thing? I don't know. But what I do know is that if you don't know how many spaces you have in the studio, you can overpack the studio, and then people are laid down, they're chilling, like me, doing breathing exercises, and then someone comes up and is like, hey, can you move over? I'm like, not really. I'm up against the wall here, son. I don't have much room left. What do you expect of me? I could be like the Kool-Aid man and bust through the wall. Boom! Yo, yeah! No, I don't think they would take kindly to that. So, I just think if you don't have those markers, you're setting yourself up for a little bit of difficulty. I think it'd be easier to manage a studio if you knew how many spaces you had. You'd know like when to cut off and when to do your walk-ins and that sort of thing, wait list, etc. But if you could reserve a spot like you do at the movie theaters today, think about how revolutionary and transformative that has been to the movie-going experience. If I knew I could reserve a spot, I could save immense time in the course of my year, because I get to studio 15 minutes early. It's not because I like to just hang out and sit in the studio, although I don't mind it. I enjoy doing the breathing exercises. It's not a bad habit to be in, to be ahead of schedule. I'm not harried, I'm not rushed. But man, there are many a day when I'd love to just show up and roll in and know that I have a spot waiting for me, that I've reserved it. Spot numero uno in the top right-hand corner by the mirror, and I paid $5 extra for it. I mean, what would you pay for that? Maybe not $5, maybe an extra $1. I would throw an extra $1. I'd throw a Benjamin in there. Benjamin's $100. I'd throw a George Washington. I'd throw a Thomas Jefferson, a TJ, $2, I think, for a premium space. I think, and you could also lower the cost of the other spaces and maybe allure some newbies to come in, like reduce your upfront costs. It shouldn't be a flat rate is what I'm saying. You can reserve spots, you can have designated locations. That seems like the opportunity. Now, how do you execute that on some of these apps and platforms? I'm less It's less clear to me how you do that. You'd probably have to hire a developer to create the website, and then what happens if you get double bookings? And, there's all sorts of complications that could arise. But I think the juice is worth the squeeze, my friends. Let's give it a shot. My Yogi Land studio owners in the audience, I encourage you to look into this. Reach out to me. I could be a guinea pig, a test subject. I will help you devise the most brilliant arrangement of locations, numbers, spots, price structure. You should have matinee costs. You should have like all sorts of peak pricing. You could actually have the prices go up as more and more people book in the class, right? Like it becomes more popular. There's lots of different pricing mechanisms that we could play with here. I'd be all for it. Not even before a studio that makes you pay an exorbitant upfront fee, but then you earn money back as you go to the studio. So let's say it cost me $10,000 to join the studio, all access. I can earn up to like $8,000 back over the course of the year by attending sessions, by going through the classes. And I can't just go and like get my, swipe my card and pretend that I did the workout. I have to actually, get authenticated that I attended so many a year, and going to so many confirmed full sessions would then entitle you to payouts over the course of the year. I think that's the most underutilized potential for a gym of any kind. A yoga studio could work that way. Someone needs to come up with this pricing model, because you'd be betting against people. Ultimately, I would probably not consume enough. I would get lazy. I'd be like, I guess they took my money. I guess I lost the bet. The studios would reap extraordinary profits from that, because not everybody would get the full value out of the arrangement. They would lose the bet. I think I think that'd be a fun way to run a studio, or at least make it an option. Doesn't have to be the only way, but I think it could be an option that you throw out there. I'm going to write that up. I'm going to send it to Core Power. I'm going to see what we can do. We're going to call it the Raff Plan, and it's going to be all about a high upfront cost, but that you accrue monetary compensation incrementally as you attend the classes and complete them over the course of the year. Now, the question would be, could I come out better financially if I did it that way? Like, let's say, I'm making this up. Let's say I'm just using numbers that are easy to do math with. Like, let's say it's $1,000 a year for all access to a studio. That's low end probably, but let's just go with it for it's easy to say. But let's say it was $10,000 or $12,000 for a year of upfront cost to get all access, but I could earn back $11,500. Do you get this? Do you get where I'm going with this, people? This is the plan. This is the future. In the meantime, the studio would have the full $12,000. They could invest it in Bitcoin, make a mint, hodl for a year, and everyone wins. You know what I'm saying? Let's make this happen. Crypto, yoga, upfront, full cost, full freight, bet against your client pricing. That's the Raff Plan. Let's bring it to life in 2025. All right, my yoga friends, it's been extraordinary. What a great year. I'm looking forward to another exciting year of hot yoga action. Oh God, it's called Hot Yoga Problems, not action. I'm in a good mood. No problems today. Hope you have a happy new year. We'll see each other in the new year. We're gonna have a great time talking about my hot yoga problems. If you have hot yoga problems, let me know. We all got these problems, my friends. If you're in hot yoga, you got problems, let me know about them. We'll discuss them, and we'll have a good one. Until then, namaste, mofos.